Hi and welcome to Annalise Maths. Today we're going to be looking at improper fractions and mixed numbers. Now, improper fractions and mixed numbers, improper fractions are also sometimes known as top-heavy fractions. This means that the numerator is larger than the denominator. For example, 11/3 is an improper fraction. A mixed number is when you've got an integer, so a whole number, and a fraction. So 3 2/3 is a mixed number. So improper fraction is when your numerator is bigger than your denominator. A mixed number is when you've got a whole and a fraction. An important thing to remember is a whole is when our denominator and our numerator are the same. So if I had an untouched cake in 8 pieces, I could say I've got 8/8 of a cake. I wouldn't say that, but I could say that. So a whole is when your top number and your bottom number are the same. We need to be able to convert both. So converting an improper fraction to a mixed number. What I need to do is, let's look at 11/3. Is how many times does my denominator go into my numerator? So how many 3's are in 11? So there's 3 3's in 11, 3, 6, 9. So there's 3 3's in 11 and a remainder 2. So that would give me a final answer of 3 wholes and 2/3. So let's look at another example to make a little bit more sense out of that. So let's say that I had 7 halves. So I've got 7 2's, 7 halves. So what I need to do is, how many times does 2 go into 7? 2, 4, 6, 2 goes into 7 3 times. So I've got 3 wholes and 1 remainder. So I've got 7 2's is 3.5. Now the reason that works is if we look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 3 wholes and a half. So when I'm working this out, how many times does my bottom number go into my top number? That's my whole. And whatever my remainder is goes back as a fraction, but on my original denominator. So let's say I had 19/3. So how many times does 3 go into 19? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. It goes in 6 times with 1 remainder. So 19/3 would be 6 1/3. So that's how I would turn an improper fraction into a mixed number. Let's see if we can do it the other way, turning a mixed number into an improper fraction. So the first thing I need to do is, how many times does my whole number multiply by my denominator? So 3 times 2, for example, 3.5. 3 times 2 gives me 6, then add my numerator. So that's 7 and put it back over the original. So again, let's look at this. Let's draw it out. So if I've got 1, 2, 3.5, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 halves. So I'm doing my whole number multiplied by my bottom, add my top, put it back over my original denominator. So let's do another one together. Let's say I have 5 2/5. So 5 times 5 gives me 25. So my big number times by my bottom gives me 25. Add my top, 25 plus 2 gives me 27. So in total, I've got 27/5. We'll do one more of these together and then we'll look at some examples. So let's say I had 3 2/9. I'm going to do my 3 times 9, which gives me 27, plus my 2 gives me 29. So 3 2/9 is 29/9. Okay, your turn. I would like you to give these 6 questions a go, and then we'll look at the answers together. Okay, hopefully you've given those a go. Let's have a look. So 5 halves. 5, how many times does 2 go into 5? It goes in twice with 1 remaining, so 2.5. 21 fifths, how many times does 5 go into 21? It goes 4 times with 1 remaining, so 4 and a fifth. 10 sevenths, how many times does 7 go into 10? It goes once with 3 remaining, so 1 and 3 sevenths. Right, 1 and 2/3 is an improper fraction. 1 times 3 is 3, plus my 2 is 5, so 5/3. 5 and a half, sorry, 2 and a half, 2 times 2 is 4, plus my 1 gives me 5 halves, and 5 and 3/5, 5 times 5 is 25, plus my 3 gives me 28 fifths. So that's how we convert improper fractions and mixed numbers. If you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments. As always, like and subscribe and check back for more videos. Best of luck with your studies.